Have you ever felt like you're wandering endlessly through a maze of spiritual ideas that lead nowhere? The constant advice to think positive, raise your vibration, or trust the universe keeps repeating, but no one ever explains how it actually works. You're not alone in feeling this way. The truth is, most of what passes for spirituality today isn't designed to help you truly master your life. It's designed to keep you searching, hoping, but never fully grasping your real power. This is part of a subtle system often called the spiritual industrial complex, where you spend money, time, and emotions but rarely get handed the truth. So what is that truth? Where is it hidden and how can you access it? That's where the Kybalion comes in. The Kybalion isn't a myth or a dogma. It's a book from the early 20th century based on the ancient tradition of Hermeticism, a secret wisdom passed down from ancient Egypt, Greece, and other mystical civilizations. The Kybalion boils down 7 fundamental principles, universal laws, that actually govern everything from the tiniest atom to the vast cosmos, from your thoughts to the life circumstances you experience. It doesn't ask you to believe blindly. It asks you to understand how reality operates. It's a tool, a clear map, not a vague idea to help you navigate the maze of life. Imagine trying to sail the sea without a compass or drive a car without GPS. Where would you go? You'd get lost. The Kybalion is that compass for spirituality and life. More importantly, the Kybalion isn't hyped online. It doesn't have expensive courses or famous gurus selling it. It's ignored, distorted, or even called too hard for mass audiences. Why? Because it puts real power in your hands, not the easy kind, but the kind that requires you to face yourself fully and take complete responsibility for your life. It reveals the truth that there is no God outside you creating your world. Your consciousness is the creator. And that's something the current system doesn't want you to realize. Straight up, the Kybalion isn't for those who want to hear just feel-good words. It's for people who want real understanding and want to take control of themselves and their reality, even if it means shaking their entire worldview. If you're watching this video, you're probably tired of chasing empty slogans and ready to walk a real, structured, effective path. In the next part, I'll explain how the Kybalion defines reality and why saying the universe is mental is not a metaphor, but a revolutionary fact. This principle is so simple on the surface, but so profound that it changes everything once you fully grasp it. The universe is mental. What does that mean? It means everything you experience, the chair you sit on, the people around you, your own thoughts and feelings, even time and space themselves, are all manifestations of a universal mind. This isn't just your personal mind making things up. It's a vast, infinite consciousness that underlies and generates all that exists. Let's get one thing clear. The physical world is not the starting point. It's a reflection, a shadow of something deeper, something unseen but far more real. Think of it like a movie projected on a screen. The screen is the physical world, but the real action, the source of everything, is in the projector behind it. This projector is the universal mind. Most people live as if matter is the boss, as if atoms and molecules somehow magically exist on their own, independent of consciousness. But science itself is starting to catch up with this ancient truth. Quantum physics shows that particles exist as probabilities until observed. Reality at its core is a dance of energy and information, not static things. So what does this mean for you? It means you are not a passive observer stuck inside a random, meaningless world. You are a creator, a point of consciousness projecting and influencing the universe. Every thought you have, every feeling you carry, every belief you hold deeply, even the ones you don't realize you have, is broadcasting a frequency into this universal mind. And the universe responds not because it cares about you personally, but because it follows unbreakable laws. Your inner state shapes your outer world. This is why two people can live in the exact same city with the same opportunities and challenges, but experience life in completely different ways. One person might see endless obstacles, failures, and threats. Another might find flow, synchronicity, and abundance. The difference isn't external, it's mental. It's also why simply thinking positive or repeating affirmations without deep internal belief doesn't work. The universe isn't a genie that grants wishes based on words. It responds to frequency, what you truly embody at your core. Here's the catch: most people never get taught this. They live in the illusion that external events are the cause of their happiness or suffering. But the Kybalion teaches you to flip, that your internal state is the cause and everything external is the effect. Once you understand this, you begin to realize that changing your reality starts inside. It starts with awareness, seeing what thoughts and beliefs are shaping your experience, and with discipline, choosing which inner states you cultivate. That's the foundation of real spiritual mastery. It's not about escaping the world or denying reality. It's about commanding it by mastering your own mind. This principle strips away all spiritual fluff and victim mentality. It says you are responsible for your reality whether you like it or not. You have the power to shape it, so own it. And when you start owning it, you start waking up from the trance that modern culture has put you in, the trance of powerlessness, confusion, and endless seeking without finding. To truly understand how powerful the principle that the universe is mental really is, let's bring it down from theory into real life. I want to tell you about Lisa. Lisa lived in the same city as me. We walked the same streets, shopped in the same stores, even frequented some of the same cafes. Yet our experiences of that city couldn't have been more different. Lisa constantly felt anxious and fearful. She saw dangers lurking everywhere in strangers' eyes and traffic in her job. Every day she was overwhelmed by stress and frustration. Opportunities seemed to slip away and obstacles piled up. She described her life as a constant battle. Meanwhile, I moved through the same environment with a sense of ease. Doors opened unexpectedly, chance encounters led to new opportunities, and I noticed synchronistic events that felt almost like magic. What made the difference? It wasn't luck or circumstance. It was mindset, the mental frequency that each of us emitted. Lisa's core beliefs were steeped in fear and scarcity. Her subconscious mind was locked into a vibration of threat and resistance. Because reality is mental, her beliefs shaped her perceptions and experiences. The world mirrored her internal state back to her. She wasn't just imagining the dangers, her very frequency was drawing experiences that confirmed those fears. When Lisa realized this, she took a courageous step. She began to observe her thoughts and feelings without judgment, learning to recognize the patterns of fear before they took hold. She practiced shifting her internal frequency by focusing on gratitude, safety, and possibility, not just repeating positive words, but truly embodying these feelings. Over time, the shift wasn't instant, but it was profound. Her life didn't magically become perfect overnight. Instead, the constant battle eased. She started noticing opportunities where before she saw only barriers. Relationships improved because her internal state no longer projected fear and suspicion. Lisa's journey is a perfect example of the Kybalion's teaching that the universe is mental. Your inner state directly shapes your outer reality. But here's the key takeaway: changing your reality starts with awareness, catching your habitual thoughts and beliefs, and then conscious choice, deciding to shift your frequency even when it feels difficult. This story isn't unique. Countless people experience the same dynamic without realizing it. Understanding this principle can be the difference between living in fear or moving through life with flow. Now that you understand the universe is mental, that consciousness is the foundation of everything, the Kybalion lays out 7 core principles that explain how this mental universe actually works. These aren't theories or beliefs you have to accept blindly. They're universal laws operating silently behind the scenes, influencing everything from the smallest particle to your daily experiences. At the heart of it all is the first principle: everything starts from the universal mind. Your thoughts, emotions, and consciousness aren't private or isolated phenomena. They are the building blocks that literally construct the reality you live in. This means the power to shape your life isn't outside you. It's inside you in your awareness and mental focus. Building on this, the principle of correspondence teaches us that the universe works in repeating patterns across all scales of existence. What you experience inside your mind reflects what's happening in the world around you, and vice versa. Think of your life like a fractal, complex patterns repeating infinitely. When you understand these reflections, you gain insight into how your inner state influences your outer world, and how changing one can change the other. Then comes vibration, the idea that everything in existence is in constant motion, vibrating at different frequencies. Your thoughts and emotions emit specific vibrations. Love and joy resonate at higher frequencies, while fear and anger vibrate lower. Mastering your own vibration means becoming aware of these frequencies and consciously choosing which to embody so you can influence the energy around you and shift your life in powerful ways. Life is also governed by polarity, the existence of opposites that are really just 2 extremes of the same thing. Hot and cold, light and dark, success and failure. They're all points on a spectrum. Recognizing this allows you to transform negative feelings by shifting your perspective along that spectrum instead of resisting or denying them. For example, understanding that fear and courage are simply different degrees of the same energy can empower you to consciously move from fear toward courage. Rhythm, another key principle, shows us that life moves in cycles. Your moods rise and fall, economies boom and bust, nature follows seasons, and history repeats itself. Rather than exhausting yourself by fighting these natural flows, the wise learn to move with the rhythm, knowing when to act, when to rest, when to push, and when to pause. This rhythm is your ally when mastered, turning chaos into predictable patterns. Cause and effect remind us that nothing is random. Every thought, word, and action sets a chain of consequences in motion. This principle places the true power of your life squarely in your hands because it shows that your current circumstances are a direct result of your past choices. Understanding this lets you stop blaming external factors and start owning your creative role in shaping your reality. Lastly, the principle of gender is not about physical sex, but the presence of masculine and feminine energies within all things. These complementary forces, action and receptivity, will and intuition, work together to create and maintain balance in the universe. When you learn to balance these energies within yourself, you become both the architect who designs your life and the vessel who allows it to flow naturally. Together, these 7 principles form a clear, practical guide to how reality works on every level. Imagine playing a complex strategy game. Without knowing the rules, you'd be lost, guessing, and failing. The Kybalion hands you the rule book, so you stop stumbling blindly and start playing and winning with intention. Understanding and applying these principles isn't just about feeling good. It's about becoming a master of your own life, navigating challenges with clarity and creating outcomes on purpose, not by chance. Knowing the laws of the universe is just the start. The true challenge and the true power comes when you begin to live those laws. And that starts with something most people avoid: radical awareness and taking full responsibility for your inner world. Today, spirituality often feels like a feel-good club. You're told to raise your vibration, think positive, or send love and light. But no one really teaches you how to maintain that energy when life hits hard. No one warns you that awareness can be uncomfortable because it exposes your shadows and false beliefs. The Kybalion doesn't sugarcoat it. It demands that you become a vigilant observer of your own mind and emotions. It says if you want to change your life first, you must see clearly what's really going on inside you. Why? Because your outer world is a mirror reflecting what's hidden in your subconscious mind. Without awareness, you remain asleep, reacting to life like a puppet tossed around by circumstance. But awareness alone isn't enough. You also must accept radical responsibility. That means owning your thoughts, feelings, beliefs, and the reality they create without excuses or blame. This is a massive shift. Most people want to blame their failures on fate, other people, or bad luck. The Kybalion says none of that matters because the universe operates on cause and effect, and you are the cause of your experience. Imagine your life as a garden. If weeds grow, it's not the soil's fault, it's the gardener's job to notice and remove them. Your mind is the garden. Your beliefs are the seeds you plant. Radical responsibility means you stop blaming the weather and start tending your garden intentionally. Mastery means pausing before reacting, asking yourself, what thought is fueling this feeling? Is this belief true? Is it serving me or holding me back? It means questioning your automatic programming and choosing to rewrite your mental script. This inner work is uncomfortable because it strips away comforting illusions and exposes your blind spots. But it also frees you from being a victim of circumstances and puts you in the driver's seat of your life. Once you commit to this process, your life begins to shift, not because the world magically changes overnight, but because you change how you relate to it. You stop wasting energy fighting external events. Instead, you work on your internal frequency, shifting from fear to courage, from doubt to clarity. You become less reactive, more creative. In chaos, you find patterns. In storms, you find calm. You don't escape reality, you command it. This is the real meaning of spiritual awakening, according to the Kybalion: not peace for the sake of peace, but conscious power to shape your reality through awareness and responsibility. If you're still waiting for some external force to fix your life, this won't be comfortable. But if you're ready to take ownership and become the conscious creator of your experience, this path is the most direct and powerful way forward. Understanding theory is one thing, but seeing it in action makes all the difference. Let me share a story about John, someone I know who struggled deeply with stress, self-doubt, and repeated patterns that kept pulling him down. John was stuck in a cycle of anxiety. He felt overwhelmed by work pressures, relationship conflicts, and his own negative self-talk. For years, he reacted to every challenge with fear or frustration, which only made things worse. It was like he was caught in a downward spiral he couldn't escape. One day, John came across the principles of the Kybalion and the idea that reality is mental. It was a game changer for him, but not instantly. What really helped was when he started practicing vibrational mastery, the ability to consciously observe and shift his emotional and mental states. Instead of being swept away by his fears, John began to pause. When anxiety surfaced, he asked himself, what thought is causing this? Is this belief really true? Can I choose to feel differently? At first it was uncomfortable. Old habits die hard. But through consistent practice, John started noticing his emotional waves instead of being overwhelmed by them. He learned to ride the rhythm of his moods, acknowledging lows without resistance and anchoring himself during highs without losing balance. This wasn't about pretending to be positive or forcing good feelings. It was about transmuting negative states through awareness, recognizing fear, frustration, or doubt, and consciously shifting them into courage, clarity, and calm. Over time, John's relationships improved because he wasn't reacting impulsively anymore. Opportunities that once slipped by now appeared as synchronicities. His work performance soared because he could focus without the constant noise of inner turmoil. John's journey shows that these laws aren't just philosophical ideas, they are practical tools anyone can use. When you master your vibration, you stop being a victim of circumstance and start becoming the creator of your experience. This level of mastery is at the core of what the Kybalion teaches. It requires discipline, honesty, and a willingness to face your inner world without flinching. But the payoff is freedom, the freedom to move through life with flow instead of resistance. If you're tired of feeling stuck or overwhelmed, this is your invitation to start practicing vibrational mastery. It's not a quick fix, but a powerful path to reclaiming your sovereignty. Let's cut through the noise. The spiritual marketplace today is flooded with catchy phrases and empty promises. Raise your vibration, trust the universe, manifest your desires, live your best life. These slogans sound inspiring, but they rarely lead to real change. In fact, most people feel stuck, confused, or exhausted by chasing after vague spiritual ideals that don't deliver. Why? Because modern spirituality, for the most part, sells comfort, not truth. It's designed to make you feel good temporarily, to keep you entertained and distracted while quietly maintaining the status quo. It's a system that encourages you to avoid responsibility, telling you to let go and trust without teaching how to truly master your life. This is where the Kybalion stands apart because it demands something most spiritual teachings won't: radical responsibility and deep awareness. It doesn't coddle your feelings or give you easy answers. Instead, it hands you a clear blueprint of universal laws that operate independently of your beliefs or moods. They work whether you like them or not. The Kybalion forces you to face an uncomfortable truth: you are 100% responsible for the reality you create. No more blaming karma, fate, astrology, or anyone else. Your life is the direct result of your consciousness and choices. This kind of honesty scares people because it removes excuses. It strips away the illusion that external forces control your destiny and puts the power squarely in your hands. That power is terrifying to many, but for those who are ready, it is liberating beyond measure. Because of this, the Kybalion is rarely embraced by mainstream spiritual communities. It doesn't sell well on social media or in glossy self-help books. It's not packaged as a quick fix or feel-good product. Instead, it's a manual for self-governance, for becoming the sovereign ruler of your inner and outer worlds. When you truly accept and live by these principles, something profound happens. You stop being a passive player in your own life. You stop reacting to events with fear or confusion. Instead, you create your reality intentionally from a place of calm clarity and aligned power. You no longer chase external validation or rely on signs or good vibes. You act from deep inner knowing and understanding of the mechanics behind existence. This changes everything. Others around you notice the shift, even if they can't name it. They sense your groundedness, your peace, your quiet authority. You become a beacon of truth and strength simply by mastering yourself. If you are tired of the spiritual fluff, the endless, chasing the surface-level positivity that never lasts, then the Kybalion offers a different path. It's not easy, but it's real. And it's the only path to true mastery. By now, if you've been following along, you probably feel a shift happening inside you. That's no accident. The Kybalion doesn't find you, you find it. And it arrives exactly when you're ready to remember what's always been inside you, the power to create your reality. The last principle the Kybalion teaches isn't about mystical secrets or hidden powers. It's about you, your sovereignty. True sovereignty means living as the conscious architect of your life, not a victim of circumstance or a passive consumer of spiritual ideas. This path demands courage. It means walking away from illusions and excuses. It means choosing awareness over distraction, responsibility over blame, truth over comfort. But with that choice comes freedom. Freedom from confusion. Freedom from feeling powerless. Freedom to act with clarity and intention. The Kybalion is not a doctrine to memorize or a checklist to complete. It's a tool, a living map that guides you through the complexities of existence with wisdom and precision. When you align yourself with these principles, life becomes a dance. Challenges become lessons. Setbacks become opportunities. You don't just survive, you thrive. You no longer chase external approval or wait for permission. You become the source of your own light, your own strength, your own peace. This is the essence of spiritual mastery, not escaping reality but mastering it, not seeking happiness outside but cultivating it within. If you've made it this far, consider this your invitation. Don't stop here. Dive deeper. Study these laws. Practice them daily. Watch as your life transforms. To help you on this journey, there are resources available: ebooks, newsletters, communities of seekers walking this path alongside you. Remember, this is a revolution of the mind and spirit, quiet but unstoppable. Once you choose this path, there's no turning back. So take the step, own your power, build your foundation, and live the life you were always meant to live. This is it, the moment where everything changes. You've been handed the keys to a door most people don't even know exists. A door to true freedom, real power, and deep understanding of how reality works. The Kybalion doesn't promise instant miracles or easy answers. It promises truth sometimes uncomfortable, always liberating. Your journey doesn't end here, it begins. Every day is an opportunity to practice awareness, to question your beliefs, to shift your vibration, and to live consciously. It's a revolution of the mind, and it starts with you. You don't need to wait for permission. You don't need to follow anyone else's path. You create your own. So start now. Sign up for resources that dive deeper. Read, learn, and apply these timeless principles. Because the more you understand the laws of the universe, the less you will be controlled by them, and the more you will control your own destiny. Remember, this power was inside you all along. You just needed the map. Now go live it.